2, 1.
Hello everybody, welcome to our very first live broadcast here in Wuzhen for the Theatre Festival. We're live. Thank you for joining us here on our social media platforms and also on our website. My name is Oscar Margain. I'm going to be your host for tonight. Now, Wuzhen, for those who don't know, is a city about a 2-hour drive west of the city of Shanghai here in China. And it is known as a 1,300-year-old ancient water town that's connected by canals here. Now, something very interesting about this place is that it's been the host for the last 7 years of the Wuzhen Festival, the Theatre Festival, which means that it is become one of the most popular theater events in the world. Here, dozens of domestic and international theater companies have been performing all day long and will continue to do so throughout the next 10 days. Just a few hours ago, event organizers officially kicked off the start of the festival, and now we are located here at Wuzhen's Water Theater. In a few minutes now, we're just waiting here for one of the most anticipated plays here at the Wuzhen Theatre Festival. And that play is a Polish play by the name of The Fairy Queen by acclaimed actor Michał Znaniecki, a play that's inspired by Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Now, more on the director in just a moment. I want to talk a little bit more about the Wuzhen's Water Theater. Now, one of the special things about this performance that is being prepared, that's going to start tomorrow, this is just going to be a rehearsal, is that is being set up at the Water Theater. Now, I'm asking here my cameraman Guo to pan to give you a look. It's kind of hard because it's dark, but what you see on the surface, that is not pavement. That is actually water. So at the Water Theater here, it gives the impression that the stage is floating, which just adds to the whole experience here whenever any plays are being held at the Water Theater here in Wuzhen. It's one of 6 theaters in town, and it's just the perfect location for this Polish play, again by the title, The Fairy Queen. Now, a little more about this theater is, if you can see, there's also a lot of places to sit. The theater can fit about 2,300 people, and it's surrounded by ancient structures. There is also a ruin, a bridge that is in ruin over there that is also part of the ancient, atmosphere here in Wuzhen. And there's a beautiful lit up pagoda also in the horizon. Now let's keep walking down here so we can get a little closer to one of the actors who will be performing here for the next 3 days. And I'm going to ask you guys to follow me so that we can get to talk to her. Now, again, a little bit more about the Water Theater. As you can see, it's been lit up. There is a really impressive light show that's part of this performance, this Polish performance. Now we're getting a little closer here, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to one of the opera singers that is part of this play. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. You look very lovely here tonight.
Thank you very much.
I very much appreciate you being here with us. Please give us your name.
My name is Eva Biegas.
And Eva, where are you from?
I'm from Poland.
From Poland.
And the first, what I have to say today, in Europe we have the International Opera and Theatre Day, and that's why I have to say congratulations from everyone, artists, opera artists, actors, for everywhere, because it's the best job on the world, I have to say.
I'm a little envious. If I could dress up and sing and have fun for a living, that is a dream job.
A lot of stress too, but yes, it's really beautiful job.
Now, Eva, tell us about your character. What is your character's name in this play called The Fairy Queen?
I have 2 roles.
2 roles?
Yes. First is a Titania. I'm a queen. To Hippolyta, I'm sorry. This is a costume from Hippolyta. Yes. It's an antique Greece queen, yes. He's very strong. He's very heavy character. And second one is a Titania. Is a queen of fairy. A very beautiful woman, most of, she's falling in love. She's magic. She's really amazing woman, and she has the two beautiful opera arias for Henry Purcell.
Well, an amazing woman character has to be given to an amazing person, and so you were basically telling me that you are the main character in this play. That's correct. You are the fairy queen.
Yes, I'm the fairy queen.
You are
yes.
the fairy queen.
Yes, I'm the fairy queen.
How does how do you prepare for a show like this outdoors here in China? How does that feel?
This place, I have to say, is really amazing because the space here with the water, with the autumn building, with these sittings, you see, this is like for me, this is a fairy space, yes, and really, for me, it's the most beautiful place on the world. Really.
And why China out of all places? Obviously, I hear that the Wuzhen Festival has become very popular internationally. And is this your first time in China? And
it's my first time in Wuzhen, but not my first time in China. In China, I was 2 times. I'm opera singer, and I have here the opera courses, vocal courses, and concerts. And every time, if I'm here, really in China, I'm really very happy because the persons are really great.
Yeah, very. I have to agree with you. Very warm people that really are accepting and very friendly.
Yes.
Now, tell us about the challenges for you in this play as you're acting in a set that is surrounded by water and these ancient structures.
Yes, water is for us really a challenge because we should be here on the bridge. We should be here on the stage, yes, here, and we have the microphone. Ordinary on the opera, we didn't have that, yes, and here we must be together with our small orchestra on the the 3 or 5 different places, and all must be in good timing with the light, with everyone, and most important with my costume by Anna Zwiewka. Yes, she's really very, very good costumology. But if everything, everyone puzzle are together, would be really, really great performance.
Right. How long have you all been practicing and training and getting prepared to present the Fairy Queen?
It's not our first time. Of course, it's the first time in China, and it's special for the China this performance from this place. But I sang this opera 3 times.
Okay.
But ordinary, it's the rehearsals are from 1 month to 2 months, yes, with the performance.
Now we hear about the director. I always keep mispronouncing his name, and I apologize. But Znaniecki.
Michał Znaniecki, yes.
Znaniecki. Tell us about what is it working? How is it working with him? Because he's such a renowned director.
He's really great because he's very soft, very fine. He's artist, really artist, and he knows everything about singers, about actors, about light, about moving on the stage, and he's amazing as a human, and this is for me the most important. And Michał Znaniecki, it's a true about him. Yes, he is amazing, really.
The audience that you're going to have tomorrow night and the next couple of nights after that, what do you want the audience to take away from this play, your performance? What is it that you want to make sure that they learn from a fairy queen?
I don't know what I have to say. I hope that the publicum will be really happy because the text, this is a Polish and English text, and I hope that everyone will be, in this China good, word,
exactly.
the fairy word, and I hope that the publicum will be really happy with everything, with not only with the singing, with moving, but with the light, with buildings, with atmosphere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're getting ready to rehearse.
Yes,
this is one of your major rehearsals before the big show tomorrow
night.
night.
Yes, I have 5 minutes.
So I'll let you go now. Thank you so much, Eva. It's been a pleasure, and you're beautiful.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you very
Actually,
much. My pleasure.
Yes, and so Eva is going to be performing, and she also sings during a Fairy Queen, an impressive performance that we do not want to miss. Thank you so much.
Very much.
We're going to move over down. We have the director waiting for us as well, so we can get an understanding of, you know, where this play came from, where did he basically conceptualize this play, and help explain the elements of the setup here, basically the stage. So I'm walking over with the director. Yes, thank you so much. It is a pleasure. And
thank you very much.
Yes, this is a director, and again, I apologize if I mispronounced. This is Michał Znaniecki. Znaniecki.
It's again, like easier than when you read it.
When you read it, exactly.
It's like, oh my God, what is this? And in Italy, it's impossible. So Z and together.
Now, it is my honor to have you here, and thank you so much for sharing some of your time with us, because you are recognized as one of a renowned director that has a very interesting title here. You have the recognition of being one of the youngest at 24 years old. You were the youngest director to direct at La Scala in Italy, in Milan. And that was something that I don't think anybody has been able to beat yet. Is that correct?
I was so young. I was too young, maybe.
Too young. Okay, too young. And since then, over 200 different types of performances, operas. You have obviously musicals, and you also have dramas. Exactly.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the Fairy Queen. Is this a drama? How would you characterize, or how would you describe this play?
So, you know, it's the beginning of the opera. So it means that we begin with the words, we begin with speech, we begin with the text. In this case, it's Shakespeare, so it's the best text that we can have. And Shakespeare, of course, was working for the people. So it means maybe it's boring, my text, so let's call the composer and let's make the music. So it's like accidental music, this is the real name. And this music, it's like in between of the show, it's like intermission music, like intermezzo later in the opera. And he begins with the arias, Fairy Queen. It's the same story of Midsummer Night's Dream. So we have text, we have actors, and we have the music live of course, in Globe Theatre, and we have live music here, of course, too. And we have characters singing. So we have the magic characters like Titania, like Oberon, they sing, and the other characters, they speak. So this like very strange mix. And later on, the opera was born. So 200 years later, or 100 years later, we have the real opera. It means only opera and music and singing without text. So this is very interesting, like to work for the director, of course.
And I hear that your play is also inspired by Polish poets from the Romantic era. How does that influence, and help us explain what exactly, how does that influence your play, basically? You know,
so I made Fairy Queen in the opera houses in different countries, and open air production too. So I thought that if we are coming to China, to international festival of theaters, I said, okay, let's try to find the influences, connections with the other kind of authors or poets or musicians, because we mixed even the other musicians, not only Parcel, but we have Handel, we have Monteverdi. So we just say, okay, let's see where Fairy Queen and Parcel and the genius of Shakespeare touch the others. In Poland, in the 18th century, we have like a huge influence of Shakespeare, and we have like the same stories, really, in Polish version. So we thought that maybe this is the moment to show it, to show that we have like the story about Titania falls in love with the animal. So in Polish version is she is falling in love in very simple man, transform him in the tree. So it's like, okay, let's talk about the woman, falling in love in a tree. So it's something very, very different for our culture. But we discovered it's not different for the culture in China.
I was going to say there's a lot of mystical parts about Chinese history.
So I said, okay, so
opera,
our romantic way of seeing nature and soul, human soul and spirits and ghosts, in China we just have this meeting and we discovered it's like, okay, this is our culture. So I hope that the audience will discover it with us, that this is like very close to the Chinese opera, Chinese tradition. Even we are just, following Shakespeare tradition, Parcel tradition, opera tradition, and Polish tradition. So this is the surprise, I think, that we will have tomorrow.
Speaking about audiences and their interpretations and how they're going to take this play, the play is in Polish, correct? And how will the audience then understand what is happening? Is that a challenge for you? I hear there might be some subtitles, but help us how that is a challenge to help the audience really communicate and understand the story behind this.
So as a student, I was assistant of Umberto Eco, the professor in Bologna University, and he was very famous because of the name of Rose, the book. So he had and he was a professor of semiology or semantica, so something absolutely difficult even for Italian people. So and he had 7,000 people every lesson. So they were coming, the tourists coming to see Umberto Eco. Who is this man? And he was teaching very difficult things in Italian. So he asked the assistants to find how to translate it without words, making theater, making drawings. So I said, okay. After that, I was an immigrant for years, working and studying in Italy, in Argentina, so making the opera, and nobody can understand the opera really. Now with subtitles, it's easier, but my way is always to make the emotions on the stage, situations that everybody can understand easily, helped by projections, by special effects, of course, because the opera was television of today.
Exactly, very good point. And yes, it's true. In opera, we don't always understand what they're saying. However, we understand the emotion behind that. That's a very good point. Speaking, you did mention some of the projections. This is obviously something that catches your eye right away as soon as you walk into this theater. Tell us about these projections, because they're fascinating. It's almost like an optical illusion. How do you do this? How do you project this from water?
So the idea was just to not build anything here, so just use what we have. And we have water, so we have platforms and water, so we just thought, and trees, so you can see now the trees, the colors of trees or the projections on the tree, that they are a moment of life. But so we use the screen, the water screens everywhere, so we are using the small fountains to have this 3D dimension of projection, and we tell the emotions. It's we have not every time we have the projections, we only when we have the magic moments of Titania Oberon. So and fall in love. So everybody has to fall in love in this production, and it doesn't matter if it is animal or sky or tree or man or woman. So this is this kind of making the illusions to lose your reality, your reason really to lose it and be free, be crazy. So this is Shakespeare. So it helps us.
It's definitely the experience. When I go to a theater, to a play, I want to be transported, taken away. I want to basically be separated from my daily life. It's an escape, right?
But this is the idea, so we stay here in the night, making the lighting, making the rehearsals, and making the projection, and we don't want to go away. So I would like, to have the auditorium and all the public that we have coming here, that they want to stay with us all nights after the show, because it's magic. So we can it's like hypnotic thing, that we can listen to the music of Parcel, listening to crazy situation of Shakespeare, even comic and tragic, and follow the illusions. So this is like being a child again. So this is the theater.
Well, I certainly appreciate your time. Thank you so much. It's an honor. I can't wait to watch this. I'm very excited. It's the first time for me to be in Wuzhen and to be experiencing all this. I've been doing it all day by all the several performances that are happening throughout the carnival. but this is definitely something to watch. It's the pièce de résistance, if you want to say, from the festival here. And so thank you again for your time, and good luck with everything. I know you have a rehearsal happening just after this interview, so I'll let you to it. I'll let you go do your work, sir. Thank you so much. And have a great evening.
Thanks.
And so anyway, guys, to remind everybody, this play is going to be happening tomorrow night. Also, in the next, the following day, and for the next 3 days, basically. It is a performance that, again, has taken place before in Argentina in 2015, and then it was also showcased again in Poland in 2016, and for the third time, using the elements that you see here in China, in Wuzhen. This performance is going to now take place a third time during the Wuzhen Theatre Festival. So that's just one of many, many performances happening here in Wuzhen. But definitely, as we were discussing, the pièce de résistance, basically the creme of the creme, or basically the best and one of the most anticipated performances here during the festival. Now, the drama is, again, an action accompanied by live musical performances, and it's just going to be fully packed with great talent. It's the fourth Polish production here in Wuzhen, and definitely I'm sure they will be invited yet again in the following years to come. I hope you guys enjoyed what you've been able to experience and to watch, and I hope that also in the future, that if you ever consider and you're a fan of theater or just want to come and explore this beautiful ancient water town, come to Wuzhen and experience it for yourself. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for joining and for watching. I'm Oscar Margain, and this is CGTN.